All right, so let's talk real quick about what I'm calling the Mamdani effect. Now, I'm not trying to give him more credit than he deserves, nor am I putting him on a pedestal, but on November 4th, we all know that he became the mayor of New York City, and it was electric. He showed this image that I felt, was extremely like just perfect for the moment of these women, a part of his transition team, about 5 of them, all different colors. I loved that. The diversity just glowing and showing all through, right? So he's just not about, the talk, right? So the thing is, the Republicans tried to come on and say, oh, we lost those elections because he was speaking to affordability. And we didn't have those talking points a part of our delivery. Well, you didn't have them talking points a part of what you were saying because you don't believe in it, first and foremost. Secondly, you could have said the words, but you wouldn't have been able to harness the same feeling in what you were saying and, instill it in others, right? Because it's just not true. It's just not true. For Mamdani, he embodies it. He embodies what it is that we have been feeling and knowing for quite some time throughout this process here. That yes, people are equal. Yes, people deserve things that are fair. Yes, there are things that we need, right? And I know I'm speaking like I don't even live in New York, but I saw on somebody's thread where they were like, as far as I'm concerned, he's the mayor of the United States right now. And that's kind of how it's feeling, right? But it wasn't only him. On that night, there were many people who won the local elections. And it's just reflecting back to us what it is that we know is true, which is that we are moving in a direction that has nothing to do with what the Red Hats want us to do. And there is no going back. There hasn't been any going back, even since the night of the election, right? There hasn't been any going back, although it has looked quite scary along the way. And so let me just tell you though, because every time that I feel like we are looking at the peaks of the contrast between the good and the bad, between the highs and the lows, the depths of the lows that they try to go in order to instill fear in us, then I have another week where more contrast shows up, more joy, more hope, while also really egregious and terrible things. And it's like a reminder, oh, we haven't quite hit that peak just yet. So even in my personal life with my family, this week has been great. And so I don't know when you'll be seeing this video, and maybe we'll already be into the next week by then. But at the start of the week, my daughter graduated from her trade school, which was a really big achievement for her. And then Mamdani and all of the elections happened, right? And then my son flew off to Japan to celebrate his graduation earlier this year from university. So I was extremely proud of him and happy for him and excited for him. And I had an amazing meeting with practitioners that I gathered to build community and to begin supporting each other, creating in-person events and online things and cross-promoting each other's offers. And so if you are a practitioner and you want to be a part of it, then just say the word and I'll give you the information. And then in the midst of me, after I dropped off my son at the airport and I came home to rest because later that day I had a full day of readings, as soon as I laid down and found the quiet moment where I was then in the receptive mode, here came this beautiful energy. Beautiful. Clear, elevating, tingly. And I thought, oh, here comes another upgrade. You guys have just been waiting for me to stop all of my human busyness and to relax so you could deliver it. Got it. And I heard it's connected to 3i Atlas. So we are not only receiving all of these massive upgrades, right? Those of us who are paying attention, those of us who are open to it, those of us who are just even a little bit, like the path for us is to continue to awaken, right? We're receiving these massive upgrades, and it is reflecting in our physical world, and that is heightening, and that is increasing in terms of how it shows up, or of when it shows up, right? How fast it shows up. And so I'm loving that. I am loving that role. All the more confirmation that we ain't going back. And in fact, we're creating momentum. We're building momentum and moving forward here in the direction that we chose collectively. And then there's the contrast, right, that I was talking about. They having straight up meltdowns, coming out on the internet to declaring that they'll be going to jail if they don't win the next elections. And well, boo-hoo, pity for you. So what we're doing is definitely working. And one of the other things that really caught my attention this week, now it happened, or started, I guess, on October 26th or 29th, one of those dates. But the monks they've traveled, I believe, like 2,300 miles already from a part of Texas, headed to DC. And this is not about religion, right? It's a walk for peace. It's a walk for humanity. And there were images circulating where they were meeting with different people, and folks were sharing bottles of water with them, giving them bottles of water, and sharing food with them, and having conversations with them, and crying because they were there and they were doing this thing. So maybe we all can't go take that long walk across states the way that the monks are doing, but I do encourage you to take whatever little drop of, and I want to be careful with this because I want to say privilege, but from my vantage point, right? This little drop of privilege that I have, I am utilizing it the best that I can to continue to amplify that feeling, right? What I'm calling that Mamdani effect, where he showed that image. And then he went and he hung out at a club with that Alicia Keys song in the background. And just that feeling of hope that he instills in us, I'm encouraging you to find your drop of privilege and amplify that as much as you can, right? Now, we've all got different roles to play, so do not forget those things either. If you're supposed to be out at the protests, then be there. We're supposed to be boycotting, not because it's something we're supposed to do, but because it's one of the tools that we have in our toolkit, right? It's one of the things that we are doing, coming together and doing this thing here to make a difference, which it's working, right? So don't forget those things. But I'm also saying, like, it's really important to help to continue to create the momentum for the direction that we are headed. And this is the one of the ways that you can as well, is just to really fill into that energy and allow it to like spread out, because we had this full moon in Taurus, and it has given us permission. It has cleared a path. It feels like cleared up some debris in the path, right? Made things clearer, made things easier in a sense, and brought along with it like this energy of victory. So just let's amplify it. let's create the momentum as best as we can. And I'll also say, I've been seeing this past week with clients how this energy is showing up in their life. So people are coming to me who have never had readings before, who are from very, shall I say, matrix-centered careers and industries and focuses, right, in terms of how they show up and how they've put life together for themselves. But they're coming to me and asking, hey, so what does this mean? And why am I feeling this? And how do I X, Y, and Z, which always translates into how do I get back to understanding more about my own personal truth and who I really am and what I came to this earth to do, right? And it has been really fulfilling to sit on the other side of the table and help them see, kind of shine that mirror or be that mirror, hold up that mirror for them, and allow themselves to see things about who they are that they haven't been able to see until now, or haven't been open to realizing it until now. And so that's another way that the Mamdani effect is working through the collective here. And so, yeah, I mean, if you are hearing a similar thing or are interested in understanding how this shift may affect you personally, your life, your community, your realm or orbit, then visit the description. There's a link. There's always a link to the virtual readings if you're not in the Portland area. But I just encourage you to amplify that feeling. And if you haven't quite found the feeling, then take a deep breath and set down the social media and the news for just a moment and allow it to find you.